In today's video, I just wanted to share with you some of the differences between the conscious mind and the subconscious mind, and just share with you why it is that we try and get the conscious mind to go to sleep when you're in hypnosis, so that we can access the conscious mind or subconscious mind directly. And then at the end, I'm going to share with you one of the rules of the mind that you can use to help you overcome any issues that you might be having that's caused by the subconscious mind. So I'll start first with the conscious mind. The conscious mind is the critical mind. This is the mind that says, no, that's not possible. So if you remember, or if you've heard of the story back in 1954, Roger Bannister was the first man to beat the 4-minute mark, the 4-minute mile mark. And before this, no one thought that it was possible. No one believed that you could run a mile in under 4 minutes. But in 1954, Roger Bannister, he beat it in Oxford in England. And then the next time that it was beaten after that was 2 months later at the Commonwealth Games. And it was beaten by, again, Roger Bannister and his opponent at the time, John Landy, who was an Australian. And the reason that it was beaten, it's actually now been beaten more than 1,500 times since that day, almost 70 years ago. And the reason that it's been able to be beaten so many times when no one thought that it was possible before that is because all of a sudden the conscious mind that tells us no, that's not possible, is overridden by the subconscious mind, because all of a sudden it is possible. It's something that people can actually do. So the conscious mind is the critical mind. It's the mind that says, no, that's not possible. No, we can't do that. No, we can't jump that high. No, I can't get that promotion. It's also the logical mind. It's the mind that deals with maths. It's the mind that deals with science. It is based in logic, and the way that the conscious mind works is on logic principles. The subconscious mind, however, is the emotional mind. The subconscious mind doesn't deal in logic, it deals in emotion. The subconscious mind is the waking mind. It never sleeps. Even when you're sleeping, your subconscious mind doesn't sleep. It remembers everything. So every memory that you've ever had, everything that's ever happened to you, every belief that you've ever created is stored in the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is also the quiet mind. So when you're awake, when you're in your normal waking state, you can't hear the thoughts that are coming from your subconscious mind. You can only hear the thoughts that are coming from your conscious mind, because the subconscious mind is your quiet mind. The subconscious mind as well is the mind that deals in creativity. It deals in symbolism and pictures. And usually as well, for the subconscious mind to remember something, the pictures need to be moving. So I'll give you an example, and this is something that I'm going to ask you at the end of the video to remember. And then when you wake up tomorrow morning as well, I want you to try and remember this image. And we're going to activate the subconscious mind here. So it should be easy for you to remember. So what I want you to imagine is, I want you to imagine a pink elephant, and it's balancing on top of a red and blue beach ball. And in its trunk, it's holding onto a yellow umbrella with green polka dots on it. So it's a pink elephant balancing on top of a red and blue beach ball, holding on with its trunk to a yellow umbrella with green polka dots on it. And the reason that that becomes easy to remember is because when you're giving it a picture, when you can see it with your mind, your subconscious mind is activated and it's able to remember. Your subconscious mind stores all of your beliefs. Every belief that you have ever come up with, it stores all of those beliefs. And the thing about the subconscious mind as well is that it will hold on to that belief until that belief has been replaced. You need to actively go and replace that belief. So I'll give you an example. I had a client who could not stop eating cake. She loved cake, and she knew that it wasn't doing her any good. She could see her waist expanding. She knew all of the health problems that came with eating sugar and diabetes, but she could not stop herself from eating cake. When we regressed her back to a memory that was all to do with the reason that she couldn't stop eating cake, it turned out the reason that she couldn't stop eating cake was because of this memory that she had when she was 4 years old, where her parents were going through a divorce at the time, and she was staying with her grandmother, and her grandmother was baking cakes with her. And so her 4-year-old mind created the belief that eating cake equals love, because she felt so loved being with her grandmother. When we had gone through the session, when we'd regressed her and we discovered this, we decided that it didn't make sense anymore. As a 4-year-old, you can understand why that makes sense. You can understand why that belief was created and how it came about. But as a 40-year-old or a 50-year-old or even a 30-year-old, does that belief still make sense, that eating cake equals love? So we reframed that belief to say that actually it's not eating cake that equals love. It's being with other people, it's spending time with people, it's being connected that equals love. and she was able to stop her cake eating habit pretty much straight away. And the reason is because all of your beliefs are stored in the subconscious mind. So again, your subconscious mind is going to hold on to those beliefs until that belief has been replaced with another belief. Subconscious mind is also, it's not active while the conscious mind is active. So in your normal waking state, your conscious mind is the one that's usually the active one. The conscious mind is the one that's usually the one that's playing the larger role. The subconscious mind is inactive while you're in your waking state. So this is the reason why when we go into hypnosis, what we're trying to do is we're trying to get the conscious mind to go to sleep so that we can communicate directly with the subconscious mind, find what beliefs the subconscious mind is storing, and then replace those beliefs. When a belief reaches the subconscious mind, you really need to work hard. If you're not going into hypnosis, if you're not directly accessing your subconscious mind, you really need to work hard at finding that belief and replacing it. And this is why it's so important to be able to put the conscious mind to sleep when you're going through hypnosis. So I'm going to leave you with one of the rules of the mind, and it's going to make sense now as to why we were talking about the subconscious and the conscious mind. And that is that any time that you have a battle in your mind between the emotional and the logical, the emotion will always win that battle. So if you're trying to replace a belief, if you're trying to stop a habit, if you're trying to stop something that it is that you do every day that you don't even know why you do it, some form of program that's running through your mind, if you're trying to stop that with logic, you're never going to be able to win out because the beliefs are stored by the subconscious, and the subconscious is an emotional mind. So all you need to do is you need to find another emotion that's stronger than the one that you've got. And the best way to do that is find a way to represent it in pictures and symbols. So I'm going to ask you again, what was the picture, the image that I gave you to remember a little bit earlier? So it was what type of animal? It was a pink elephant, and it was balancing on top of a red and blue beach ball, and in its trunk it was holding onto a yellow umbrella with green polka dots. I want you to challenge yourself to try and remember that same image that I just came up with then. I want you to try and remember that when you wake up in the morning. Don't think about it for the rest of the day if possible, and try and remember that image tomorrow, and you'll understand why it's so important to communicate with the subconscious mind using imagery.